Alright, what is going on, guys? It's Tazz here, and welcome back to the channel. Now, yesterday was the big day for Comic-Con 2017, as it was the day that we got all of the new news and information on the upcoming seasons of the DCTV shows, because they did have their panels yesterday, as well as they did show off new trailers for all 4 of the shows. Now, these trailers, I will link them all down in the description below if you guys do want to go check them out, just so I don't get any copyright or anything on this video from showing the trailers in their entirety, but I do definitely highly suggest you guys going and checking out those videos down in the description after you're done with this video, because they do show off a little bit of new stuff for the new seasons. While it's good that they don't show off too much, because, you know, you don't want to have too much of the new season spoiled for you, at least not right now, but it's good that they don't show off too much, but it is also a nice little sort of hype building thing to have a little bit of what they've been, or just sort of have a little bit to see from what they've been filming over the past couple of weeks. But what I will do for you guys right now is I will give sort of my little 2 cents, I guess, on what these trailers are showing us and sort of my predictions for sort of how the shows are going to be starting off, continuing on in their new seasons. So let's start off with Legends, because that was the first show to end, and it's sort of the simplest to explain from what we saw in the trailers. So what we saw in the trailer was pretty much where we left off from last season, was with the Legends pretty much just breaking time. We got a little replay of that clip where we saw them say, you know, yeah, we broke time, because there were dinosaurs in the streets, different futuristic buildings all around the city, and it was just pretty much crazy madness. So what it seems like the Legends are going to be doing this season is they're going on a quest to fix time. They're going to try to fix all of the new aberrations they've created from what they did in the finale of Season 2 to end up stopping Eobard Thawne and the Legion of Doom. So obviously that had repercussions, and in this season they're going to try and go fix those. And the cast has stated in some interviews that they're going to be pretty much going up against Rip Hunter a little bit this season, because he's going to be joining this new organization called the Time Bureau, which is basically, I guess it seems like it'll be pretty much like the Time Masters, but this Time Bureau will obviously be in conflict with the Legends, because the Legends, you know, kind of messed up time a little bit, so they're going to be kind of mad at them. So, I mean, it's going to be pretty interesting to see the Legends go try to not mess up all the time, going to try and actually fix all of their mess-ups from last season. But one interesting thing that was actually announced on the Legends of Tomorrow, I think it was the writer's room, their Twitter, I will put the tweet up on screen, but they said that Snart will be back on the Wave Rider this season. So yeah, we will be getting the return of Captain Cold once again. So I don't know what kind of version of Captain Cold this will be, if this is going to be some sort of like past version, a new present version, because they kind of messed up time a whole bunch, and maybe he didn't end up dying in the Season 1 finale now that they've messed up time so much, or it's just another version of him. But it's definitely always an awesome thing to see Captain Cold come back onto Legends of Tomorrow. But now let's transition over to all of the new news and information from the Supergirl trailer. Now, from what I can gather from the Supergirl trailer, it seems like pretty much what's going to be happening at the beginning of the season is Supergirl is just going to be definitely in kind of a pretty bad place now that she had to end up sending Mon-El off planet, off Earth, because of the finale of last season to end up stopping the Daxamites. They had to release lead into the atmosphere, which inevitably caused Supergirl to have to, you know, let Mon-El go, let him go into space so that he wouldn't, you know, die from all the lead poisoning. But, I mean, it's just, it seems like this season, at least what I can gather from the trailer, it seems like this season's going to be maybe a bit darker than we've seen the last couple of seasons. Like, Supergirl's always been sort of the lighthearted tone, sort of happy show, I guess you could say, compared to all of the other DC TV shows. Legends is more of like the fun, silly show, Arrow's the more dark and serious show, Flash is definitely in there in the middle, and then Supergirl is always the lighthearted, happy tone. So it seems like this season they're going to take a little bit of a turn from that. It seems like it's going to be a little bit darker. I don't know how long that's going to last. Maybe once Mon-El comes back, the show will be a little bit more back to normal, but it seems like, at least at the moment, Supergirl is going to be a little bit darker going into Season 3. Now, moving away from Supergirl and transitioning over to The Flash, it seems like this season's going to be be, from what the cast has said in interviews and panels and things like that, is it seems like this show is going to be a bit happier this season. Now, it's not gonna be like that, I guess, in the first episode, because the team is still gonna have to be dealing with Barry being in the Speed Force, with him being gone. It seems like what they're gonna be trying to do is trying to move on, obviously, without Barry, but also in the background trying to get Barry out of the Speed Force. That seemed like probably the main thing that they were trying to do in this trailer. Was you saw at the end, Cisco sort of modified the Speed Force bazooka to try to get Barry out of the Speed Force. Now, it seems like Barry's going to come back probably at the end of the first episode, or around maybe the beginning of the second episode. He's not going to be in there for too long, I don't think. But it seems like the season is definitely, like I said, from what the cast has said, it's going to try to go back to more of the lighthearted, happy tones and sort of funny tones and things like that they had back in the first season, because, last season was a bit dark with, a future version of Barry from the darkest timeline going back trying to kill Iris. It's a little bit darker for the Flash, but now it seems like they're going to go back to the happier tone. And it seems like with the Samuroid, it seems like the only reason Wally was wearing the red suit that Barry had, it seems like he's probably only wearing that not because he has become the full-fledged Flash, it's because the Samuroid said, "Bring me the Flash," So, Wally's gonna go in that suit to fight the Samuroid, probably for nothing else, and that's why he's gonna be back to the Kid Flash suit later on, either in that same episode or in the next episode. And just in case you guys hadn't heard the news, it has been confirmed. Yes, it's been confirmed for a while, but they said it again at the panel. Yes, it's confirmed that the Thinker, Clifford DeVoe, will be the main villain for Season 4. But now that we're done with the Flash, let's transition over to the fourth and final DCTV show, Arrow. Now, obviously, the big question coming out of Season 5 was who survived that explosion of Lian Yu, and we got a little bit of an insight into that in the trailer. So, I mean, obviously, the trailer didn't want to show you too much. They didn't want to show every character to show, who survived the island explosion, but they showed certain characters, they showed certain things, which made me sort of think certain things, if you know what I mean. In one part of the trailer, we saw Oliver and Slade on the island after it had been completely, exploded. So Oliver, obviously, he wasn't on the island. Oliver and his son weren't on the island, so obviously there's no point in they're safe. They're obviously safe, but I mean, we saw Slade on the island, so he's safe, and it's actually been announced that he will be recurring throughout the season. Not going to be a series regular or a season regular this season, but he will pop up every once in a while throughout the season. And in the panel, they actually said for some of the flashbacks this year, because obviously there are no more island flashbacks, that we will be getting specific character flashbacks, and one of those will be some Deathstroke flashbacks, which is definitely pretty awesome. And in sort of that same scene of the trailer, we saw on that, on the destroyed island when we saw Deathstroke, we also saw Oliver and his son looked pretty upset, and it seems like obviously somebody does die. And obviously I had said before in a couple of videos, I said that I think that the mother of Oliver's son will end up dying, and it seems pretty evident, or pretty obvious, I guess, in the trailer that she does end up dying, because Oliver's son William does seem to go end up living with Oliver, because, obviously if his mother's dead, then he has to go live with his father now, who is Oliver Queen, aka the Green Arrow. And it seems like that's going to be, a pretty big thing going forward into Season 6, is going to be the struggle of Oliver now having to take up that responsibility of being a father now, because, he has to take care of his son. And in another shot of the trailer, obviously, while not surprising because they were both confirmed as series regulars a while ago, but we do see a little fight between Black Siren and Black Canary, or the new Black Canary, Dinah Drake, and we do see her actually in her brand new costume, which is definitely pretty awesome. So obviously they do survive the island explosion. That's not on the island, that's like on some back street or something, I don't even know where it is, but they're fighting on the streets, and it's pretty cool, because obviously we will be getting Black Siren as a full series regular, and she will be a villain, I guess, at the beginning of the season, but we don't know sort of where she's going to be going later on in the season. Maybe she will get a redemption arc. That's sort of what I'm leaning towards, is maybe she'll be a villain at the beginning of the season, because it was actually confirmed at the Arrow panel that the villain for the season won't be only one villain, that it's going to be sort of a team of villains. I guess sort of think more like Legion of Doom in a way, not exactly like them, but it will be sort of a group of villains. I don't know if they're going to be sort of associated with each other or if it's just going to be different villains throughout the entire season that Oliver and Team Arrow will have to take on. And we did get 2 villain confirmations for people that Team Arrow and Oliver will have to take on, and one of those being Anatoly Kanayev, which is definitely not too surprising considering that they left on not the best of terms in season 5, so that's definitely pretty cool. It's always great to see Anatoly come back on the show, as well as one character that has definitely been heavily speculated on by sort of everybody that does sort of speculation videos on Arrow. I actually never did a video on this guy because I didn't really know too much about him. I still don't really know too much about him, but his name is Richard Dragon, and he will be coming onto the show. They haven't announced any casting or anything for him, but that is definitely pretty cool to see another Arrow villain come onto the show. But other than that, guys, tell me what you guys think about these new trailers that we got at Comic-Con. Please definitely go check them out in the description if you guys have not already. And I will also link this channel that puts up all of the Comic-Con panels up on their channel. I will link it down in the description below. I think they've gotten up the Flash and Arrow and the Supergirl panel at the moment. I don't think the Legend panel or the Legends of Tomorrow panel is up just yet, but just wait for that. They will definitely upload it at some point, I'm pretty sure, because I used this channel last year to look at panels, and they're back at it again this year for the panels. So I will try to link their channel down in the description below as well if you guys do want to go check out the panels. They're pretty long, but they're definitely really interesting and worth the watch. But until next time, guys, it's been Tazz, and I'll see you guys in the next video.